Okay, so I'll just speak louder. Right. So now we're going to hear two cases that represent an emerging trend in the Brazilian Amazon, which is the growing passing of responsibility for governance onto municipal governments, to the municipal level, decentralization, and at the same time a growing trend of NGOs to concentrate their work to strengthen that municipal governance. Okay. So there have been a series of decentralization policies in Brazil that have passed on responsibility to municipal governance, such as an unfunded mandate to have plans to control solid waste. Municipal governments are required to do that by early 2015, but they're not given technical or financial support to do that kind of planning. And specifically in the plan to control and combat deforestation, known as PPCDAM, the municipal governments are required to control deforestation. And within that PPCDAM, a policy of the National Monetary Council basically embargoed. They chose 43 municipalities that had high deforestation rates and basically embargoed them from access to credit, from any future environmental licensing, or even from the ability to commercialize their agricultural produce. Now, historically, municipal governments have been dominated by local elites, and there's a relationship between a lot of the resources and decision-making is centralized, and there's a relationship that's been classified as coronelismo between those strong central governments and dominant local elites to share that power. And so it's interesting to reflect how NGOs have come in and been working in this kind of a context. At the same time, they're interacting and, in some sense, supporting those existing structures, but they're also bringing in a new agenda, an environmental agenda and a transparency agenda. So there was an early paradigmatic case where the NGO Amazon worked with the municipality of Paragominas to get them off that embargoed list, which required them to control deforestation and to register rural properties. And then Amazon leveraged that into a state program of green municipalities. And other NGOs like TNC and our partners ICV have been developing similar initiatives in other municipalities throughout the Amazon. Now, the two cases that we're going to hear today come from IPAM and ICAM, two NGOs. So IPAM is an NGO that has been working. We've actually heard Foster Brown at previous conferences of TCD. We've been very impressed with kind of a broad approach to governance in the MAP region. But IPAM today is going to talk about a very specific case where they did a one-year training program and really a focus specifically at municipal governments. It's a pilot program, and they're going to talk about what they did for that 1 year. Darlene Gomez is going to present that and talk about what they learned from that and how they build the foundation for further work. And ICAM is a different kind of a case. They're an NGO that's been mainly working with indigenous groups, building autonomy and development strategies for indigenous groups. And they've worked basically within the indigenous territories, but they have been adapting their strategy. And so what Stephanie Beer is going to present is how ICAM has come to a strategic shift of, and also to work on municipal governments, and also the way that they are conceiving municipal governance and how they can work in that. Okay. So Stephanie is going to talk about the state of Rondonia. Okay. And that work is done in 3 municipalities. One of their works that they've done with municipal communities is in the Suruí Carbon Project, the first RED project that had significant indigenous ownership. And the Suruí are in the municipality of Cacoal, so that's one of their focal municipalities, as well as Porto Velho, which is not only the state capital but has a large rural area, and Guajará-Mirim, which is a municipality that's about 90% covered by indigenous or conservation areas. But first, Jarlene Gomez is going to talk about the work of IPAM in Acre in 4 different municipalities, which represent different regions of the state and different degrees of high and low deforestation pressure. Stephanie? and in Portuguese, and I will translate her.
Thank you. Um dos eixos estratégicos que o IPAM vem atuando na Amazônia é o de governança socioambiental, né, que apoia a criação e implementação de políticas públicas, buscando fortalecer a gestão e o uso dos recursos naturais. E realizamos um projeto, né, de fortalecimento da...
Okay, so one of their main strategic focuses is on strengthening municipal governments and governance in general, and she's going to present this project that focuses on that.
Ok. E o objetivo da iniciativa é de fortalecer a governança municipal de meio ambiente, porque entendemos que isso é a base para promover a capacidade dos gestores e da gestão em geral de gerir os seus recursos naturais.
Okay. So this project has a specific objective of strengthening municipal governments and municipal agencies for the environment, but they see that as an entree into the broader approach to develop capacities for management of natural resources in general, by the society as a whole.
O projeto focou em 3 principais atividades. Primeiro, realizamos um diagnóstico para avaliar a situação atual da gestão socioambiental do meio ambiente. E a outra etapa foi a capacitações, né, e com oficinas de capacitações e intercâmbio de experiência. A outra etapa de continuidade, elaboramos um sistema de gestão, de apoio à gestão municipal, e também elaboramos um projeto, um curso de elaboração de projeto.
So the project had 3 phases. The first was a diagnosis, where they analyzed and chose those target municipalities. And the main activities were capacity building and technical assistance courses and technical assistance directly. And then in terms of what they learned and setting up the stage for future work, they have that third phase of continuity, where they developed an environmental management support system and developed financial support projects.
O diagnóstico foi focado em 3 principais aspectos que tentam entender qual a relação da sua gestão municipal de meio ambiente, e os aspectos foram como que estava a situação do funcionamento das políticas de infraestrutura do município, o funcionamento das leis ambientais e o acesso às políticas públicas de uso e conservação dos recursos naturais.
So the diagnostic had 3 parts and various variables within each of those. The parts are up here: the infrastructure, the legal framework, and access to public policies.
Os principais resultados encontrados e comum nos 4 municípios trabalhados foram a falta de capital humano e social capacitado, a infraestrutura inadequada de trabalho, a falta de eficácia dos gestores em ações municipais de meio ambiente e falta de recursos financeiros e conselhos municipais de meio ambiente totalmente desmobilizados.
So the results of the diagnosis were these general weaknesses in the municipal environmental secretariats: lack of human and social capital, lack of financial resources, lack of infrastructure, but also just a basic lack of knowledge about what they were supposed to be doing, and a lack that was linked to a lack of protagonism, that they really taking control and leadership of what their responsibilities were. And the fact that there are environmental councils for civil society participation that exist but were not active.
As capacitações tiveram como público-alvo gestores das secretarias de meio ambiente e técnicos, e também membros do Conselho Municipal de Meio Ambiente.
Okay, so the target audience, now we're getting into the actions, the training programs. And the target audience were the people who work at the Environmental Secretariat, from the secretary to the staff, as well as members of the environmental councils.
A primeira capacitação foi focada em atividades conceituais e metodológicas em planejamento estratégico, A segunda foi a operacionalização desse plano, que a gente elaborou anteriormente. E a terceira foi um intercâmbio entre as experiências dos próprios municípios participantes e também de membros da RECAM.
So the three phases of workshop or training programs were first a conceptual basis about strategic planning, then the second was actually developing a more detailed implementation plan, and the third was an exchange of experiences, not only between these municipalities but with other experiences throughout the Amazon.
Outra atividade que fizemos foi, entre o intervalo das oficinas de capacitações, nós realizamos um acompanhamento e a mediação de outras atividades com metodologias participativas, identificando quais eram os problemas socioambientais do município, quais as causas e quais seriam as estratégias possíveis que a gente realizaria ações para tentar minimizar essas causas.
So in between the intervals of the workshops, they visited and provided technical assistance directly to the different municipalities. Participatory methods following similar kind of structure to the courses, identification of the problems, the causes of the problems, and the solutions and planning.
E as principais demandas identificadas nesse processo foi fortalecer a gestão e melhorar a infraestrutura de trabalho, resolver as questões de resíduos sólidos, uma questão emergente no Brasil, atuar no controle de desmatamento e queimadas, gestão dos recursos hídricos, ordenamento e uso de ocupação do solo e licenciamento e fiscalização.
So these are the topics, basically the agenda that these municipal governments, environmental agencies face. Just getting themselves organized and having the basic infrastructure, dealing with that solid waste challenge, and these other things.
Esse aqui é um exemplo do planejamento estratégico que nós realizamos nos 4 municípios. E os objetivos de cada um trazem planos e temas prioritários de atuação das secretarias.
Okay, so this is just an example of the strategic plan that they developed using that participatory methodology. The blue boxes across the top are those 6 themes that we just mentioned, and then the strategic actions and the projects to implement.
Uma coisa que a gente aprendeu durante esse processo de capacitação é que, além do processo de capacitação, é preciso apoiar a sustentabilidade e a continuidade dessas atividades.
Okay, so the previous slide was basically the activities of that one-year pilot project, the courses and the technical assistance. And so they learned from that in order for this to have continuity, they have to carry out some other activities and create the basis for ongoing work.
Assim, a gente percebeu a necessidade de realizar outras estratégias, como um curso, né, de elaboração de projetos para captação de recursos para as secretarias.
Okay, so one of these follow-up actions, and which they've already been implementing, is providing training to develop funding projects, to go after public financial resources which exist, but give them the capacity to get those resources, because the lack of resources was one of the key issues.
Outra ação de continuidade foi a sistematização do trabalho que a gente realizou, né, que a gente gerou um sistema de apoio à gestão ambiental municipal.
So the other follow-up action was creating a systematic monitoring system to basically keep track of all the information and all the actions that were developed and create a long-term system for managing and monitoring, which is right here. He's going to explain.
Temos a ferramenta de mapa, com detalhamento dos recursos naturais, informações de dados de desmatamento, queimada, terras indígenas, unidade de conservação.
So it has various modules. The mapping module has information about land cover, protected areas, fires.
Os diagnósticos que realizamos inicialmente.
The initial diagnosis that was made.
Leis ambientais e políticas públicas já existentes no Estado.
Environmental laws, policies that exist.
E o planejamento estratégico que pode ser atualizado anualmente.
So, and the strategic planning that they developed and that can be updated periodically. And now here it's, you can't say that the next administration just doesn't know what the previous administration has done because it's all documented.
E por último, uma biblioteca com documentos relevantes.
About library, relevant documents.
Fica a questão, quais os desafios da sustentabilidade de uma iniciativa como essa?
So the remaining question is like, what are the challenges to continue this and to move forward?
Então, a gente acredita que alguma dessas respostas está vinculada às políticas públicas, como exemplo, o Programa Municípios Verdes no Pará, o Programa de Municípios Sustentáveis no Mato Grosso.
So one of the solutions is to having like a state-level policy for this, modeled on what I mentioned earlier, the Green Municipalities Program of Pará, and a similar program that's being developed in Mato Grosso.
As redes e formações de capacidade, com mecanismos que ajudam a fortalecer e multiplicar essas iniciativas.
Okay. And networks for learning from across these different experiences.
E também uma outra forma que a gente acredita que é importante é a promoção de intercâmbio e seminário como mecanismo de gestão que possa multiplicar essa iniciativa pela Amazônia.
And finally, just exchanges of these experiences between these municipalities and other municipalities throughout the Amazon. Okay.
E por último, a gente tem o desafio de implementar um programa de municípios para o estado do Acre.
And the final challenge is to develop this into a state-level program. So now Stephanie is going to... You want to hear?
Hi. For 10 years now, the Amazon Conservation Team has developed and carried out with indigenous groups in the Brazilian state of Rondônia. And these are examples. Construction management plan, organization for collective sale of Brazil nuts, and organization and empowered women to make artisania, and including indigenous crafts are selling it off. In recent years, we have come to understand that, yes, ECAN's presence within indigenous lands has been important, but it has not been enough to stave off the surround pressures as manifesting these forms. Illegal logging, prospect and mining for diamonds, and squatting on indigenous lands, among others. Project Amazon Conservation Team. As such, the Socio-Environmental Municipal Management Project is approved under these timelines. 1 year to complete the diagnosis, and 3 years for execution. Sorry. Of the principal objectives of the project is operating the areas surrounding indigenous lands in order to reduce the pressures of illegal activities. Our strategy is territorial-based, considering the state of Rondônia, especially looking at its proxy areas and locations of greatest pressures and deforestation. We also opted to place more intensive activities in 3 municipalities. Indigenous lands in Brazil fall under federal control. Many times, then, there is no dialogue established on a municipal level. We systematized information on state level, as well as 5 variables concerning the 3 municipalities: and deforestation, protected areas, populational diversity, economy and production, management and governance. In the case of management and governance, the information was collected in loco by means of interviews. Via the diagnosis, we are able to confirm our hypothesis that the relationship between municipal level and the indigenous lands is not strong. Unfortunately, at times, the municipality sees the indigenous lands as restriction to development. Our operation strategy is divided into 6 target audiences. So, in here. If traditional communities, we have developed actions towards the construction of the ethno development plan. It seeks to value added socio-biodiversity products with the intent to establish at least one formal income generating support agreements. We have actions with rural property owners in order to carry out rural environmental register and environmental recovery plans. We are present in municipal councils and continue to work to maintain this as representative participation spaces. These councils exist in 3 municipalities but do not work. The project seeks ample participation of civil society by means of the construction and validation of environmental quality plans. These plans are intended to alter the negative views that civil society was of municipal environmental secretaries, who only administers fines and disrupt licenses processes. It is a way to help the environmental secretaries to effectively monitor environmental quality indicators, as well as for civil society to counter this process. We have carried out capacity building programs with 3 municipal secretaries that consist of training, courses similar to the ONS IPAN did in Acre, developed land use monitoring centers, and as well as supporting developed fund proposal. Finally, at the Rondônia state level, ECAN's goal is to impact the state's government to create a state municipal environmental management program. We hope you become a consistent and continuous public policy. This is our arrangement of our project. It is a project that will always be a reflection on their initial motivation. And the implementation and execution of the State Socio-Environmental Municipal Management Program as 2017 guarantee the reduction of pressure surrounding indigenous lands. And despite the partnerships that are pre-arranged for the execution of project, is the most appropriate balance for participation and empowerment among different sectors and the sustainability of state socio-environmental municipal management program. The program is the name we use for improvements in the city. Then, considering different scales, reflection is about the most appropriate arrangement to improve governance in municipalities. And now, Bobby.
That's great. That's okay, thank you. Great. Okay, so great. So just to wrap up, I mean, I think we've seen here that we have 2 great examples where they can do a lot at the state level. They can have a very broad approach to how they can promote governance. But also we see that there are no ready-made answers, and there are huge challenges, and these programs need to be adapted. EPAM showed how they adapted and developed kind of a new phase of work based on that pilot. Stephanie ended with kind of reflections, like as we're going into this, is it going to work? Is it sufficient? Are these the right balances? And they also exemplified how they're interacting between themselves and throughout these other experiences in the Amazon. Whoop. So there was actually created that ICOM basically convened a group of NGOs to the state of Rondonia that had been working on this issue, and out of that seminar that they held, they created this network called the Amazon Capacity Building Network. But it's a network of all of these NGOs and some other support organizations that are working on this issue in different states throughout the Amazon. And the network has been created about a year or two ago, and it's basically to share the experiences, monitor how they're going at the different state levels, what they can learn from each other. And within that context, UF, myself, along with Denise, Mello, Wendy Lynn Bartels, we've been working with this network to put on a course, first of all, to bring some training for the technical staff of these organizations on things like governance and socioeconomic systems and collaborative processes. But more importantly, it's a space where these people can exchange their experiences and learn from each other. And it's also a mechanism to promote this kind of reflection that Stephanie ended on. So, okay, we're going into these processes, and NGOs, as you know, are occupied in the day-to-day. So can academia interact with them to support them to be more reflective about their work? So Stephanie and Charlene have been here for a couple of weeks. They've prepared this presentation together, learning about each other's projects, and that kind of work continues. So we're supporting them to help kind of learn from these experiences and systematically reflect on them, so hopefully they can improve and adapt over time. So thank you very much.